Definitely. He's got a guy in front of him that, Chris really has to get this guy out of here if he wants him out of here.
For our fourth contest of the evening, we return to the heavyweight division. Introducing first, boxing out of the blue corner to my right, wearing red trunks with white trim. Just 2 months ago, he was a part of what many consider the fight of the night here at Melrose Memorial Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, from Boston, Massachusetts, Victor Hugo Costa. And his opponent, standing directly across the ring, fighting out of the red corner to my left, wearing black trunks with silver and white lettering. His record impressive: 1 win, 0 defeats, and 1 big win by way of knockout. He comes to us from the Spindle City of Fall River, Massachusetts. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Aiello. 4 rounds, heavyweights.
All right, here we go. 4 rounds. Jackie Morrell brings them to center. And Pete mentioned Victor Costa fought a 6'7" Ukrainian named Serhii Shevchenko.
And brought it to him for all 4 rounds.
Absolutely gave him a great effort in that fight, and it had every physical disadvantage. And put
One thing about this fight,
effort.
stylistically, you couldn't be more opposite. Chris likes to sit back a little bit, counter punch, take his time. You're going to notice he has a beautiful jab to the body, sets things up. Hugo Costa throws caution to the wind. Big overhands, big left hooks, comes in straight lines. So, this is going to be an interesting matchup.
You see here, Aiello starting off slowly, going with the jab.
Yeah, Chris will really take his time. He's one of those fighters that likes to collect data, but he has to be careful and not wait too long and let Hugo pile up some points. Also, I will note that Chris looks a little bit bigger this fight than he did for his pro debut.
He put on, I believe, 15 pounds since his pro debut.
Yeah, definitely a lot bigger in this fight.
Well, Costa came in, I believe, around the same weight as his previous bout, if a little bit under. I think he was 251 and a half. So did Aiello have a pause in between his amateur and pro career, Aaron?
I think something like 8 or 9 years, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Yeah, he took a big break. I know he has a few kids, the married life.
Wanted to give it a shot, though.
A couple different, career changes, stuff like that, building his life. And, it's tough to keep an amateur record, and stay active in the ring while you're, building the outside life,
Absolutely.
But, Chris, all the skills are still there. It's just like riding a bike from him. He's done this since he was a kid.
And he's going right at Costa here.
Nice right hand by Chris. One thing about Chris Aiello, you'll see, on film, it might not look like he's throwing the hardest punches, but look at the size of Chris's legs, his calves, his thighs, and look at it compared to Victor Hugo Costa. Chris can generate a lot of power from a short distance. So these short, choppy right hands that Chris is landing, believe me, they're powerful.
And right now, he's been doing most of the work in this round here.
Yeah,
Costa,
a little bit of a stylistic change for Chris. Nice high guard, and he's actually walking Victor down. But credit to Victor. He's moving in there. He's trying to create angles. Nice right hand by Chris over the top.
As well. Yep.
That might have hurt Victor.
Costa doing a lot more holding in this round than he did certainly in the Shedluko fight.
Yeah, body language-wise, Victor looks a little hurt, a little bothered, maybe even a little tired at this point.
I think he's fighting out.
Yeah,
he's got Costa holding on bad.
Yeah, we watched Costa went all 4 rounds with Sergey, and, didn't look like this once, really. He looked pretty comfortable the entire time, so Chris has definitely got him, on the retreat right now.
Would you is Chris would you say more of an inside guy, the way he fights? Or
not necessarily. He can fight really well on the inside. I think Chris is an adaptive fighter. Whatever the fighter brings to him,
Sure.
He's well-versed. He's well-versed on the outside, on the inside. But stylistically, he's more of a counterpuncher. But right now, we're seeing a little bit more of a active, offensive Chris Aiello, which I like, especially.
Yeah, this has been a very good round for him. He's got, I would say, punch output a lot more than I expected for round 1. But he's definitely banked out with a nice right hand
by Chris.
Excellent. That might have been the best punch of the round for him. The cleanest shot too. And Costa talking some smack to him.
I don't think Chris liked those Instagram posts.
I don't think he did either.
A little bit of
blood coming out of the nose.
Blood coming out of the nose of Victor Hugo. I don't know if it's broken, but Chris has definitely hit him square.
You're going to see in the street play here some of the offensive attack that Aiello landed on Costa.
Yeah, Chris is doing a great job of setting things up. He'll touch and go, like we like to call it. Nice little combination here to end around by Chris. Yeah, Chris does good things. He'll touch with the jab, shoot the right hand a little bit harder, come around with the left hook and pop that uppercut. He's definitely a thinking fighter. Interested to see how Chris comes out in this second round with such a high output.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I mean, his first fight, he got a kill out of there very quickly. We know Victor's here to fight, so let's see how he adapts, but it only takes one.
All right, we're coming into round 2 of 4 in this heavyweight attraction. Chris Aiello of Fall River taking
Takes
on
the
Victor
center of the
Hugo
ring right
Costa.
away. Good jab by Chris. And that body jab is big by Chris, right to the solar plexus.
And again, he has Costa.
Another right hand by Aiello.
He's got Costa stuck in that corner here.
Costa's eating that right hand flush, and he is not liking it whatsoever. Body language is a big thing in the sport, and you can tell Victor Hugo Costa is out of it.
And it doesn't help when your nose has blood flowing out of it either.
No, for sure.
Not fun.
And that was due to one of those big straight right hands. Good body work by Chris. Coming up again with that uppercut.
And he has a soft midsection in front of him. I think he might want to go to that body a little more. But here comes Costa.
Yeah,
trying
first
to put
little
together some
offense by
action.
Costa.
Yep.
You know, I don't know if it's the defense from Chris or that forward pressure by Chris, but we haven't seen the same relentless pressure by Costa.
Nice body work there from Costa, or from Aiello, and Costa holds on.
Another good short right hand. See, that's that right hand I'm talking about. Can generate a lot of power.
Yeah, I mean, Costa looks tired.
He's tired. He's tired. He's a little beat up. He's outgunned right now.
I think he's realizing he's in there with a different class of fighter.
Another class of fighter. Sergey, he does have that height, but with the amateur experience that Chris has, it's a different kind of fighter.
Yeah, I mean, Shaluko had 0 amateur bouts, came from basketball, and you could tell Chris Aiello.
Talking to a guy who's competing in the Nationals, what I mean?
National, the guy that's been boxing since he was a lot younger. And you can see he's still
and just loves the game. You don't come back after 9 years, with a family and everything, unless you really love this game and you love to fight.
And he's doing again. He's definitely banking this second round here. I'll give Costa credit. Even though he's tired, he's backing up. He is still trying to fire off the occasional lead shot.
Yeah, Costa's game. Like I said, Chris is going to have to get him out of here. I think you're seeing Chris take a little break here now. He's been, like I said, different style for him. He's putting a lot of pressure. Good straight right hand by Chris again. Costa's trying to make it a little ugly on the inside now. And you see the way Chris shells up. He catches all those punches, just takes a little bit off all of them.
Yep.
A little bit of heavy breathing from both guys. Good
There's
jab.
Aiello
Good double jab right hand by
nice.
Chris. Another good right hand by Chris.
It does a good. You want to finish these rounds off emphatically.
Oddly enough, you saw Victor Hugo kind of walk away with his back turn there.
Hugo taking
I think Chris
a
smells
lot of
blood in the
shots.
water.
He certainly does. This is the crowd energy here, very reminiscent of the pro debut. It was.
Yeah, Chris brings a crowd with him. A lot of Fall River fans in the house tonight.
And I hate to say it, but I think Victor Costa's finding out very quickly. Like I said.
Yeah, he's in with a different level of fighter.
He's a different guy. This is at a 6'7" heavyweight that was a little bit of a novice. I mean, Chris Aiello has done this in the past, and he's doing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, if that Sergey fight, if he's not 6'7", that's probably a win for Victor.
I agree. I agree. That was really his only problem, was he couldn't get through his jab.
Yeah, and Chris, Chris doesn't have these crazy physical advantages as a heavyweight. He's actually probably considered a small heavyweight like Victor, but he's highly skilled.
They're taking I see a lot of people in that corner, commission members, the referee. I think they're taking a look here in a discussion if they want Costa to continue.
Yeah, Victor's taking a lot of unanswered shots. I mean, he's in there, he's game, but he's eating punches cleanly.
You can see, by the way, Kyle Cusick working the corner of Chris Aiello. And that's it. That is
stopping the fight.
And I think that's a good call. He took a lot of shots. And Chris Aiello is going to go to 2-0 with 2 knockouts.
TKO too.
And making everybody at the PAL in Fall River very happy. making Fall River, the town of Fall River, pretty happy. I would say in general.
Really good statement by Chris Aiello. Very impressive performance.
Excellent work
He
here.
changed up his style a little bit this fight, came forward, applied the pressure, and got his man out of there. Did what he had to do tonight. Very impressive fight.
And I know you know, Aaron, there's a lot of heavyweights in the New England area, and you kind of start thinking maybe Chris Aiello gets in the ring with some of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, these are going to be some, really, really interesting matchups. You know what I mean? If Chris Aiello steps up in competition again, there's some interesting fights out there for him.
Absolutely. Passes with flying colors tonight against, again, a guy that was very hungry and did not view himself as the opponent.
Yeah.
And Chris Aiello, frankly, let a beating on him.
Yeah, he was in there with a guy tonight where we all know he could outbox this man. A little bit unsure if he could stop this man. And, just because of the layoff and, everything, the toughness that Victor displayed in this fight with Sergey.
For sure.
And Chris came out and passed with flying colors and got his man out of there. Great fight.
Excellent performance. We're just going to wait for the official results here, but Chris Aiello is going to go to 2-0 with 2 knockouts. And, I'm looking forward to seeing what he's up to in the future. And, tough defeat for Victor Costa, but we know he's tough. He'll be back. He's reliable, so for sure he'll be back in the ring. But, I mean, Chris
still
Aiello,
a valiant performance,
Yeah,
I think,
brave. He took a lot of shots.
I think the Mass State Athletic Commission and his corner were just looking out for his safety, defensively.
Right call. The nose is bleeding. Right
Definitely.
call.
He just wasn't able to defend some of those punches.
Great fight, bro.
Great fight, man. Great fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a fun, action-packed heavyweight fight. A round of applause for both these combatants. The blue corner is unable to return for round 3 following the conclusion of round 2. Your winner via TKO and still undefeated from Fall River, Massachusetts, Chris Aiello.
Chris Aiello brought a lot of fans tonight, and they are
Definitely.
thrilled with his effort. And like I said, it's he really impressed me tonight. I'd like to see him again. Keep stepping up the competition. But with their work, what he's doing right now, after a long layoff in between his amateur and pro career, you got to respect it. He's really going for it, and I hope he keeps fighting for as long as he wants to.
Yeah, definitely. I know it's hard with the family and everything. To keep up pro fights and train and it's the camp. It's the camp that really kills you.
For
what I
sure.
mean? It's the long hours. It's all the bag work, all the sparring.
Yeah, you train all these kids.
Yeah, all the miles.
Camps, so.
It's a full-time job. To be a successful pro athlete, it's another full-time job. Even if you're doing it part-time, it's a full-time job. So,
Absolutely.
But I'd love to see Chris back in the ring. Really good performance tonight, and some very, very interesting matchups at heavyweight.
For sure.